fuck.
Yes, I don't say fucking thank you. You know,
They were like, fucking good morning to you, sir. Tomorrow morning you'll be like, fucking thank you.
Oh my God. So it's like, these are not new things that I am saying. Like, why do I have to keep repeating myself? So we're leaving Applebee's and the guy is holding the door open. So I'm like, thank you. So my children walk out and say fucking nothing. And I'm like, when somebody holds the door for you, you say thank you. Like, what do you not understand? Like, I don't understand. And then like when I'm not around, my children use their manners. It's like, do I just repel their manners? I don't understand.
That's the one good thing is it kills me too that they're not good around me at home. But when they're good outside of us, that's a good thing.
So we get in the car and then I bring up the whole, it's common courtesy when somebody opens, like in school, I keep telling you, when they open the door, say thank you and good morning.
Mm-hmm.
I said, when somebody holds the door open for you, say thank you. I said, it's not like it's their job to open the door for you, hold the door open for you to walk out. So there's like silence for a few seconds. And I swear to God, this is what my smart ass child says. He says, I'm not trying to be mean, but it kind of is.
What?
The guy at Applebee's, technically, it is his job to hold the door open. So now I'm trying to.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to hide my face to not.
Is the guy laughing or he's like?
No. We were already like in the car, like going, like, oh my God, I'd be mortified.
So you're just trying not to laugh.
So now I'm trying to turn my face. Because technically he's right. He's just such a fucking smart ass.
Yes.
And then Eddie's mouthing to me. And so I see Eddie turning his face. So like trying to hide the fact that he's laughing. And then Eddie turns his face to me and he mouths, well, that is right.
Oh, I wonder where he gets his smart ass
matters from, babe. But it's like, okay. So I'm like, okay, so it might be his job to open the door or hold the door open, but you still fucking say thank you.
Exactly.
Like, that's not the point. I was like, but he's just like so fucking quick-witted and such a smart ass. And sometimes
Logan does this in the morning and he's just like, he just expects things to happen. Like things just miraculously come together.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say this every once in a while and it'll drive me insane. And I'll take his laptop and I'll shut it on him because it pisses me off. He'll be like, where's my chocolate milk? I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Uh-huh.
Did those words just come out of your mouth like that? Are you kidding me, right? You kidding me? I'm not raising you to be like that. Where is my chocolate milk? And I know my mom, she definitely like tries to instill it with them because they're with them for a while. Mm-hmm. Like 4 days, at least 4 days a week, getting them off the bus and doing dinner and snacks and the whole 9 yards. And she definitely tries to enlist it in them, but every single thing they say, like, I mean, every time I think she's like, say please,
that is
say
me.
Thank you.
Every like see, I don't let it slide ever. Every time I'm saying it. I almost said it to Eddie the other day.
Yeah. I do have to admit, like when we're home.
Oh, actually, I did say it to Eddie. We were out to dinner, the four of us.
That's right.
And I don't remember what the waitress said.
I do remember.
Yeah.
You were like, say thank you or something. Yeah.
I was like, I tried to let it slide, but now you're being a dick. And you should have said thank you to her. Sorry, good.
So I will admit that there'll be some times where I just let it slide because it's just my morning routine. I'm trying to bolt out the door. Like I have a very limited time in the morning that I'm making breakfast, lunch, putting makeup on my face, getting everything together. And I just, sometimes I'll just like make things and it'll just be like a go thing. And like, he'll be like, I need a fork. And I'll just give him a fork and I don't make him say please and thank you. And so there are areas where I could make him say it, but there's just some instances, like especially in the morning, where I'm just trying to go. But I have been trying to stop him when he says that shit to me. I'm like, oh no, and I will take his computer from him, and I'm like, you do not talk to me that way. But yeah, the struggle is real.
What the fuck? Speaking of,
yep, let's get on into our WTF moments of the week.
Let's do it. What the
fuck did you just
What the fuck did I just see?
What the fuck did you just say to me? All right, Christina. So what made you just want to scream WTF?
Okay. So this is a little bit of a longer story. So let me preface that word.
Yep.
this story with, I don't even know if you even know this. Even before we moved, I really have the want for a pool in my backyard.
Okay.
So when we were looking for houses with a pool, but for some reason they're like super far.
You would have loved the one in my neighborhood. There's this house in my neighborhood that was up for sale. With the saltwater in-ground pool. It was gorgeous.
Yes. Well, apparently they're like super.
If it goes back up for sale, I'm calling you. Like, Christina, come move in.
They're like super far and in between when you're looking for houses. So I've been telling my husband since we moved into the house, I'm like, eventually I really would like to get and it has to be in-ground because in my community they only allow in-ground pools.
Okay.
And he is adamant about the fact that we cannot have a pool in our backyard because the way like the block is kind of like on a slant and everybody's backyards kind of like drain into our yard, and like at the back of our yard is like the sewer, and that's like it's where the water goes when it
like a creek or whatever. Yeah,
it's like I don't know. It's like the thing
a sewer
underground, like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
like,
a sewer.
I guess it's a sewer. Yeah, it just sounds dirty. I don't know
because it is. It's usually dirty.
Oh God. Okay. So we have that at the like far back corner, like where you can't see it in our house on our property.
Coming soon to a bookstore near you. Mom's Mouthing Off Dictionary. We should keep track of all the words we don't know.
Yes, we should.
We can hire Tim for that.
Yeah, we'll have him put our that special episode together. So anyway, so he's just, and we go through like spurts. Like I'll bring it up again, and he's like, "We can't have the pool because the way the water drains." Then my mother's husband will come. Like we just like cleared out the whole back of the yard, so it's like made our yard like double the size. And so now I'm back on the kick of like, oh well, we can get a pool. And they're both like standing there with their hands on their hips and like they're really like looking at it. Like, no, I still don't think we can get the pool in here. And so that's the backstory. Is that my husband is adamant about the fact
you don't want to do it.
We cannot have a pool on our property because of the way the water flows.
You know why he doesn't want it, right?
Yard.
It falls into his jurisdiction because he has to deal with all the things outside of the house.
Yes.
Christina breaks up the chores into jurisdictions of who does what in the house.
Well, not really so much in the house.
Around in
his department.
His department.
Sanitation and outside.
So the pool would probably land into that. He's like, fuck this shit. I am not taking care of that pool.
So I started a conversation with him the other day. I brought him to the backyard and I was like, this is a lot of work to keep up with this, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, it's a lot of fucking shit to do. I was like, all right, what if we just concrete the whole backyard? Just put all concrete down. He's like, I'm not concreting the entire backyard. He's like, no. I was like, okay. So what if like we just like put concrete around like the perimeter of the yard? He's like, that would look ridiculous. Why would we do that? I was like, well, then maybe we could put like some water in the middle. He's like a pool? And I'm like, my mind didn't exactly go there. But that's a great idea. Why
genius.
Don't we get a pool?
That's what you have to do. You have to make it his idea. And did he fall for it?
I was like, my mind didn't automatically go there. But I mean, you're so creative. That was a really good idea. He's like, we can't get a pool. They're the water and the running and the and I'm like, that's not true. And he's like, how do you know that's not true? I said, because I talked to a pool guy. He's like, you had a pool guy come here and look? I was like, no, I wouldn't have anybody come here and look without you. He's like, I just talked to him. He's like, so you called a pool guy on the phone? I'm like, no, I went to the pool place.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah. Me and my mom we were looking at pool memberships because we don't want to go another summer and not have a pool to go to. So we drove to like 2 different pools to look at the pool and see about signing up and yada, yada, whatever. And then we got back on the kick of both need to get our own pool.
Yeah.
Because it's like $400, like the early bird fee just to fucking sign up for the stupid pool. And I was like, babe, I don't think we should throw our money away like that.
You could do it payments towards your pool. Yeah.
So we went to the pool place and we're explaining. I was like, well, I don't know if I can have a pool because my husband is set on the fact that the way the yard is set up and the way that the water drains from all of the other yards in the community into our yard. So the guy was like, okay, so let me just get this straight. So what I'm hearing you say is your husband doesn't want a pool.
Even he knows. That's great.
I was like, yeah, he doesn't want a pool. So now he's like, I could put a pool, and he's like, I've done so many pools in your community, and I've never come across a yard that
that he
so
can't
the
put
bottom
it in.
fucking line is we could have a fucking pool, and he's been fucking, but he like tells me with like super straight
he knows
face.
for sure.
He's like, he's like, no, these, and he even like looks, and he's like, you know, like
surveying.
he's like really like thinking about it, like maybe no, I don't think we can get here.
I don't think so.
So I was like, I talked to the guy, and the guy said that we could have a pool. So now he's like, fuck, because I kept saying to him, listen, like, I'm not going to believe that we can't have a pool. Like, I'm not going to give up on
your dreams.
I want a pool until somebody, a professional, comes here and tells me, like, no, sorry, he's right, you're wrong, you can't have a pool. But no, like always, I was right and he was wrong, and we can't have a fucking pool. So, so he's like, I'm telling him the guy said that we can have the pool. He can come, and so he's like, I've been telling you that we can't have a pool. He's like, because I'm not shelling out $20,000 to put a pool in. I'm like, $20,000, and I'm giving him the face like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They are crazy expensive.
So he's like, why? He told you that he could do it for cheaper than $20,000? I said, no, where the fuck are you getting a pool for $20,000? It's easily going to cost way more than I'm like really like selling it at this point.
God.
So he's like, yeah, well, exactly. There's your answer. That is the reason I've told you that we cannot get a pool in
they are
yard.
ridiculously
Yes,
expensive.
they are. But
you want a pool.
I want a pool. So he's like, so how did you leave off with this guy? I'm like, he'll be here Tuesday.
Is he coming Tuesday?
He's coming Tuesday.
Oh, I'm so excited for you to get a pool.
Yeah. So my plan is that I'm going to price it out with like the fucking works, like the hot tub overflowing into the pool and the sun ledge and all the fucking
bells and whistles,
all the bells and the whistles. And then this way, when we narrow it down to just a plain old pool, he'll be like, "Oh, we're getting a real good deal here."
You just told him your plan.
Well, hopefully he hasn't been listening in the car because
this doesn't even come on for a couple weeks, so you're good.
Oh my God. So that was my what the fuck on my husband for fucking telling me we couldn't have a pool when he knew damn right we could have a pool.
Or maybe he didn't know 100%, but he was just going with it because he was
he said, he's like, of course we could get a pool here. He's like, but I've been telling you because they're fucking expensive.
He's been playing you.
Yes.
Well, fingers crossed you get a pool. You get a pool. You get a pool.
We still have to figure out how to pay for the pool. But the point is that now I know
we can
have a pool.
Oh, game on.
Yes.
Touché.
So now I've been Pinteresting all of the pools.
With overflowing
I was
waterfalls.
like, see, he said we would need a retaining wall. Like, look at this. And we have a retaining wall and it would have a backflow off the end.
Oh, goodness. I can't wait to see how this comes out.
So what about you, Diane?
Oh, man. So my WTF moment is about, real quick, my parents, I had talked about this. They are back in New York, but only for a brief amount of time, just for 2 weeks. They're still mostly here. And so because of this, Tim has changed his hours to, in order to get home to pick the kids up on time.